Christopher Columbus sailed west, looking for India, but Vasco da Gama sailed south and east and found what the others were looking for. Spices from India were very popular in Europe. However, the only way to travel from Europe to India was overland. But this was a long and expensive trip, so the King of Portugal figured, if he could find a way to get to India, by sailing on the ocean, he would become rich by trading spices in Europe. Vasco da Gama was given 3 ships by the king, and told to find a trade route around Africa to India. The journey rounded the southern tip of Africa at the Cape of Good Hope. They stopped at trading ports along the way including Mombasa and Malindi. At Malindi they gained a local navigator, who knew the direction to India. It was on 20th of May 1498, Vasco da Gama set foot on Calicut, India, linking Europe and Asia for the first time by an ocean route. The arrival of Vasco da Gama in India encouraged many other European countries to sail eastwards. On the third voyage, he was to take over as Viceroy of Portuguese India, but he died of malaria shortly after arriving.
पोर्चुगल निकला तो रास्ता भटक गया, लेकिन फिर उन्हें गुजराती व्यापारी मिला, कीनिया की मालिंदी पोर्ट मालव मांडवी का रहने वाला।
Francis Xavier was the co-founder of the Society of Jesus, the main source of missionaries who implemented the Inquisition. He was a man of blind faith. He came to Goa in the 15th century and dismantled the Hindu temples and the priests. He had urged to make Goa a Catholic state. Goa was ruled by Portuguese rulers for almost half a millennium. Goa was one of the 3 Portuguese provinces in India for 451 years. The other 2 provinces were Daman and Diu. The Inquisition idea was introduced in 1560 by a Portuguese king, João III, on the behest of Francis Xavier. Goa was the hub of Roman Catholics between the 16th to 19th century to stop and punish heresy against Christianity in South Asia. The colonial era was a time when the Portuguese government ruled along with the Jesuit clergy. Their main task was to persecute Hindus. It is estimated that by the end of 17th century, the Portuguese carried out ethnic cleansing of Hindus and Muslims, who constituted less than 20,000 people, who were non-Christians out of the total Goan population of 250,000. Xavier commented, "The Hindus are an unholy race. They are liars and cheats to the very backbone. Their idols are black as black can be, ugly and horrible to look at, smeared with oil and smell in an evil manner." The entity known as Holy Office, established by the Portuguese government along with the Jesuit clergy, was established at Old Goa, the former capital of Goa, in the year 1560 to persecute Hindus who did not follow Christianity. This was a series of disgusting events in the history of Goa, when the Portuguese had dismantled the people based on religion. The Catholic Christian missionaries burned any books, written in Sanskrit, Marathi, or Konkani that they could find in Goa, as well as restricted Protestant Christian books from entering Goa on Dutch or English merchant ships. In Goa, three kinds of torture were practiced upon people. First, the torture by rope was that the hands of a prisoner were tied with a rope and then raised by a pulley and continued up and down, and these continued up and down movements dislocated the joints and made the prisoner emit horrible cries of pain. This torture went on for an hour, till the bones dislocate or the person died with unconsciousness. Second, the torture by water was that the victim was made to lie across an iron bar and was forced to imbibe water without stopping. The iron bar broke the vertebrae and caused horrible pains, whereas the water treatment provoked vomits. Third, the torture by fire was the worst. The victim was hung above a fire which warmed the soles of the feet, and the jailers rubbed bacon and other combustible materials on the feet. The feet were burned until the victim confessed or died. These horrible acts were only attempted on those who converted to become Catholic, but practicing their previous religion in disguise. These attempts to shatter the ethnic groups had led to horrible crimes. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and let us know in the comments which history you want me to cover in the next video.
बाबा साहेब आम्बेडकर अपने एक स्पीच में कहते कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनाने का सही क्रेडिट बी एन राव को देना चाहिए, ना कि मुझे। BN राव, ये कौन है? हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इन देशों के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को स्टडी करके वहाँ से आइडियाज लेके बनाया है और ये काम BN राव ने किया था। उन्होंने एक इनिशियल ड्राफ्ट तैयार किया, उस ड्राफ्ट को हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन असेंबली के पास भेजा। हमारे असेंबली ने उस पर ऑलमोस्ट 3 साल चर्चा की और उसका जो भी कंक्लूजन निकलेगा उसे ड्राफ्ट करने का काम हमारे ड्राफ्टिंग कमेटी को दिया, जिसमें 8 मेंबर्स थे और उनके हेड हमारे बाबा साहेब आम्बेडकर थे। प्लीज शेयर दिस वीडियो बिकॉज BN राव डिजर्व्स एटलीस्ट आवर एक्नॉलेजमेंट।
वैसे तो हमारा इंडिया 1947 में आजाद हो गया था, पर क्या आपको पता है कि हमारे देश का एक पार्ट ऐसा था जो 1947 के 14 साल बाद आजाद हुआ? हाँ, तो ये पार्ट था गोवा। गोवा एक्चुअली 1947 में ब्रिटिशर्स की नहीं, इनफैक्ट पोर्टुगीज के रूल में था। तो जब आजादी की लड़ाई हो रही थी तो वो ब्रिटिशर्स के अगेंस्ट हो रही थी, पर गोवा पोर्टुगीज पे किसी ने ध्यान नहीं दिया। इसी वजह से 1947 में पूरा इंडिया आजाद हो गया सिवाय गोवा के। तो बात है 1946 की, जब राम मनोहर लोहिया ने गोवा विजिट किया तो उन्होंने देखा कि वहाँ लोगों के साथ बहुत अत्याचार हो रहा था। फिर 1961 में तब भारत ने इंडिया को गोवा से आजाद करवाने का डिसाइड किया, जब पोर्टुगीज गवर्नमेंट ने गोवा के फिशरमैन को शूट किया, जिसमें से एक की मौत भी हो गई। इसके बाद फिर गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने गोवा को आजाद कराने के लिए 30,000 इंडियन फोर्स भेजी, जिसके चलते 36 घंटों के अंदर पोर्टुगीज गवर्नमेंट ने हार मान ली और गोवा छोड़ दिया। और इसी तरह फाइनली 19 दिसंबर 1961 में गोवा को पोर्टुगीज रूल से आजादी मिल गई। अगर वीडियो पसंद आई हो तो कमेंट्स में जय हिंद जरूर लिखना।